When hope is gone, undo this lock and send me forth on a moonlit walk. Release restraint level 0. Hey kids, wanna see a dead body?
Hi guys, this is the Void of the Ravenclaw. Welcome back to another fanfiction story. This is a redo of an older series of what if Izumi was or is a super genius. It doesn't really matter, but I'm gonna keep some aspects of it from the original the same. So the two pictures in the thumbnail are her androids she'll create, along with some other robots or cyborgs. Not cyborgs, androids. The only difference between this one and the original, Izumi in this fanfiction is going to be half Kryptonian, half human. So she's going to have a quirkiness. It's not going to be combat oriented or anything like that. I got the idea, one of my subscribers mentioned, one power from a quirk, so I figured this would fit her well. Her own pocket dimension, where she holds all of her creations, where she could summon at will, and the ability to analyze any technology just by looking at it. When her analyze vision is activated, her green eyes turn a bright green. With this is activated, she can see what's inside the machine, how it works. She process it through her mind. Then she'll immediately know how to recreate it or make improvements. She's a natural super genius, no quirk needed. Let's start this story now. After the results of the disappointment known as Superboy, Lex went back to the drawing board, and he's running out of Kryptonian DNA from Superman. But he does have one last batch of Kryptonian DNA in his cold storage. Lex Luthor managed to get some DNA samples of Power Girl, a Kryptonian from a different Earth. It seems to be the older version of the Kryptonian known as Supergirl, as she took upon her name, the human name as Kara, or just her name in general. Supergirl's name, I think Power Girl's name is Karin. I'm not totally sure on that, but I believe that's her name. I think it's Karin Stars that she adopted when she got to Earth, but I'm not going to go into the comics because she has different versions of her for like most heroes or villains from DC. So let's just continue forward. As Lex decided to use the last batch of DNA, not to create a son, but a daughter, and guide her very closely so this one doesn't turn into a disappointment like Superboy. Instead of just making another clone, how Connor was created, he changed his tactics from the last results of Connor, with creation of Connor. He's going in a total different route. He's combining his DNA with Power Girl to make a daughter, Lex Luthor has already gave up on idea of cloning. Every time he tries, it becomes a disappointment, so he's going a different route. Bizarro, Connor, failures in his eyes. Lex Luthor has his all attention towards the creation of of his soon-to-be daughter. Lex has already had plans for his daughter. He knows eventually he's going to get older and eventually die. He wants to make sure he leaves a legacy and continue his work after his untimely death. It's just a precaution Lex is setting up. He doesn't he doesn't really live a safe life. His constant battles with Superman in the Justice League and occasionally running the Legion of Doom, it's it's really not safe. It doesn't really have a healthcare system or sick days. Lex already have an idea how he wants to splice his daughter's DNA. He completely removed the weakness of kryptonite. He got the idea from Superman's battle with the crime syndicate, specifically Ultraman. Ultraman did proclaim he was going to get his revenge against the Justice League, alongside with the rest of his evil version of the Justice League. Lex was able to switch the weakness to kryptonite to a strength. When Lex's daughter is exposed to kryptonite, it will increase her powers for a brief moment of time. It's not permanent, but it's temporary. It does have, she does have, sorry, as long as she can absorb the output of kryptonite that's going through her body. I mean, it's still a weakness if she absorbs too much all at once. Then the kryptonite will take effect. A brief moment of time when she absorbs too much, she'll be extremely weakened for several hours. Despite Lex creating her in a lab, Lex was surprised that his daughter have a quirk gene. Lex pondered the idea maybe he didn't have a full developing quirk gene, but he really never really wanted a quirk. If he ever if he ever wanted superpowers, he would do so with science. After all, he's making a serum that will give any human similar abilities as a Kryptonian. It's still nowhere near the finished finished project or product, but it's coming along as we time skip 6 years later. As you see Lex Luthor standing on top of a podium in in some sort of press conference with all the media present in Metropolis. Everyone is confused why he's holding a little girl in his arms. As he finally started the press conference, as he formally introduced his daughter, Izumi Luthor, in the heir of LexCorp. Immediately, all the reporters asked Lex questions. The news of Lex Luthor having a daughter spread like wildfire throughout the world, throughout the world and America. After the press conference, he took his leave, walking with his daughter while holding her hand as they're walking into the hallway in LexCorp, heading to his office. As promised, daughter, if you got straight A's in all your tests from all the private teachers I hired for you, you held up to your end of the bargain, so I will do as promised. I'll take you to the park. I just need to grab a couple things from my office, then we'll head home. Then we'll go to the park, daughter. I'm quite pleased by your performance, Izumi. It's only a matter of time before you surpass my intelligence level. My intelligence. Really, Dad? I would not lie to you, dear. It's a pointless effort when it comes to you. While Izumi was walking with her dad towards his office, a robotic cat jumped into Izumi's arms. As this is what the robotic cat looks like. Small, like a normal size of a house cat. So I see you completed it. When I found out you had a talent for robotics, I made sure to nurture that gift. Impressive work, dear. It's still a it's still a prototype, Dad. I'm still working on the AI for this little guy. Regardless, fine work, my dear. Thanks, Dad. Izumi had a bright smile on her face, being praised by her father. Izumi's burst, n- sorry, Izumi's burst might not have been normal, but she's still a normal girl with Kryptonian powers. Well, half Kryptonian, basically. She just wanted approval of her father. 20 minutes later, Izumi and Lex just got to the park by limousine after they made a quick trip to their house. The moment the driver opened the door, Izumi bolted out like a rocket. She brought a bunch of shredded pieces of bread for the ducks. That's the main reason why she wanted to come to the park, to feed the animals. Lex was keeping an eye on his daughter. He watched her start rubbing her eyes. Then suddenly, two green beams shoot out of her eyes and hit the tree, making two small holes into the trunk. As Lex ran over to his daughter and placed his hands over her eyes. Keep your eyes closed. It seems that your powers develop faster uh, than predicted. Just remember your lessons. I taught you in case this happens. Understood, Father. Izumi and Lex went well, sorry. Izumi and Lex left immediately to go back to his lab to run a couple tests on his daughter, then set her up in a training room that was meant to test energy weapons. As he carefully guided his daughter to use her heat vision, he still remembers when Superman in himself switched bodies for a couple weeks by accident, as he as Lex is fully aware how to use heat vision. Not so much on the other powers, but heat vision and hearing, he has that down. After Izumi started to get the hang of her of her heat vision, it it only took her a week. It didn't take her long for her other powers to surface at a alarming rate. After a couple tests, Lex found out that she can absorb the rays from the sun a lot more faster than Superman himself and the rest of the Kryptonians. He figured it has something to do with the genetics he got from Power Girl. Sir Lex made sure she had all her powers under control. She left for some time. After after several years, Izumi is finally coming back to Metropolis. She just finished college at the age of 14, and she's packing up her things in her dorm. After she got everything packed, she went to the limousine that's waiting for her in the parking lot of the college in Paris. It didn't take her long to get the limousine driver to get all her luggage and put it in put it in the back of the vehicle. As she waited in the back seat, as they immediately took off and head towards the private airstrip that Lexus uses it every time he's in Paris. As she got her father's, as she boarded her father's private jet, it didn't take the jet long to take off. She decided it. She decided to get some sleep. It's going to be a long flight back to the United States. After a long flight, the plane finally landed on her father's personal airstrip. As she sees her father waiting for her in front of the limousine that he came in. The moment she saw her father, she ran up to him and gave him a jump towards him and gave him a big hug. To see you too. My, you have grown. Dad, I saw you last year. I haven't been gone that long. Can't help it. I'm your father. Let's go home. So, how's your projects been going? Going slow. The laboratories at the college doesn't really have the necessary equipment for my robotics. And trying to get a grant and trying to maneuver around the red tape, it's really a pain. You know you could always sorry, you know you're always free to use LexCorp's labs as you see fit. After all, when I step down, you'll be taking over. I highly doubt I'll be taking over anytime soon, Father. You still have a lot of spunk in you, old man. That's the idea, as Lex begins to cackle from his daughter's comment, giving him a compliment, then immediately afterwards a insult with the old man remark. But he enjoys his daughter's sense of humor. How you been, Dad? Nothing out of the ordinary, despite that suited up Boy Scout getting in my way every step of the way. It's been lovely. And uh, and don't get me started on the rest of the Justice League antics. I'm surprised you haven't brought up the subject of of the Kryptonian, considering your heritage. The fact that you took it so well when I told you the truth. Dad, you know me. I'm not so short-sighted. Yes, my birth was unique, and I know who DNA is in my blood, nor do I have any plans to meet my so-called mother. I might be part Kryptonian, but my loyalty is always will be to you, Father. You raised me, even though you could have took a took a on unhands took a non-hands approach, but you treated me like I was your daughter. And the fact that I have your DNA in me proves it. I might not like how you do things, Father, but I respect it. I know you have I know you have the best interests. Well, you have humanity's best interests in heart. You just go about it a little drastically. But yet again, we're Luthors, and I kind of do the same on occasion. Well said, daughter. We don't do half measures. What's your plan, daughter, once you get settled in? I think I'm ready to see my older brother. Connor, I believe the name he took. I want to see if he's truly a Luthor or not. I know that look. Just don't hurt him too badly, daughter. I do have some sort of affection towards the boy. After all, at the end of the day, he's still my son. I'm a bit disappointed, but nevertheless, sorry, I'm a bit disappointed in him, but my son nevertheless, even though he would deny it. Don't worry, Father. I don't want to kill my brother. I just want to have a friendly meeting with him and maybe test out a couple models. to see how my creations stack up against a Kryptonian. Would never resort fighting him myself. I'm I'm beyond such base instinct. I'm a girl of science, not barbarics, not barbarians. Sorry. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm a girl of science, not a barbarian. I could easily tell you who's the strongest between the two of you. Don't say another word, Father. Don't ruin my fun. As she sticks her tongue out at Lex in a playful manner. Suit yourself, sweetheart. Now come on, let's get into the limousine. Right behind you. Izumi spent the next couple days settling in, getting used to Metropolis again, despite her disinterest expression on her face. She is quite glad to be back home. She quite loves living in this city. There's always something going on. It's never too peaceful or too chaotic. It's a good mixture between the two. Unlike Gotham, it's pretty much chaotic 24/7. Even though Gotham is chaotic, it has its own charm. She doesn't mind the city too much, but she would never live in it. But it's a good place to visit to blow off some steam. Izumi Luthor spent the next few weeks keeping an eye on her brother, seeing who he talks to, where he goes. If there were a normal family, she would just introduce herself, but she's a Luthor. So the first meeting between siblings, of course, will involve kidnapping, most likely, and maybe some violence. Izumi figured out pretty fast that her brother is kind of sweet on this brunette girl that seems to be around him constantly. After observing her for a while, she found out that this girl is actually a Martian. So she did some homework on the Martian. As she decided to go back to the lab to start preparing things. Like I said, she did some homework on the Martians and what, especially the white one, the white Martian, considering Miss Martian is a white Martian in this one, at least. And she immediately got back to the lab and started coming up with ideas for inventing a device to cancel out psychic powers, mind readers, or Izumi's always found those type of powers a hassle to deal with. She's been trained to resist such intrusions in her mind, but she's nowhere near immune to it. Lex walked into the lab to check on his daughter to see what she's working on. As Lex sees, she's working on some sort of headpiece, a device to go over the head. Not fully covered all head. It's just a curved piece of metal with electronics. It's all easy to get on, so easy to get off. So let's continue. What are you inventing this time, daughter? Some sort of device to nullify people with mental powers like psychics or empaths. I have to get my brother's attention, so kidnapping his little girlfriend should get him plenty of motivation. You're definitely my daughter, and you're definitely a Luthor. You make your old man proud. You know you could easily just introduce yourself to Connor like a normal girl. I could, but that would be no fun. I want our first meeting to be something to remember by, and kidnapping his little girlfriend will make a first good impression. That I can guarantee, Father. It's not like I'm going to hurt the Martian. I'm already working on a sedative that would work against a white Martian. After all, their genetics are far more complex and different than the human genome. Thanks to the DNA you had of the Martians, it's been a great help. And the fact that this Martian is white is very interesting. You always had a neck for genetics, dear. You know me, father. I learn things easy, and I don't like to stay idle for very long. And I'm looking forward to meeting my big brother. I know you two don't have the best relationship. I have no intention of letting that happen to me and Connor. I just want to see what type of person he is. And I'm not foolish to believe that the Justice League won't find out how you created me, so I expect there to be trouble in the future. Indeed, the Boy Scout will throw a fit when he finally figures it out. But we'll worry about that when we cross that bridge. We'll deal with it as a family like we always do. Got that right, Dad. Izumi would continue this routine working for the next couple days until she's completely ready to implement her plan. As she followed the Martian for a couple days to figure out her routine fully, Izumi stepped out of the alleyway onto the main sidewalk, acting like she's a tourist, asking a few questions in French to the civilians or anyone walking past her, until Miss Martian noticed her and asked her in French if she needed help because she noticed the young girl was speaking French. That would be lovely. I'm kind of lost, as she says that in French. Izumi acted like she tripped, so the Martian would try to help her from stop her from stop her from falling. When she took the bait, Izumi pressed some sort of injector onto her neck. As the injector went off, as Miss Martian could hear the sound from the device that was injecting some sort of sedative in her into her bloodstream. As Izumi started to speak English now. Sorry about this. You seem like a nice Martian, but I need to borrow you for a little bit. As Izumi catches Miss Martian, before she could hit the ground, she turned her head towards her driver as she ordered the driver to get her into the vehicle gently. Izumi walked into the limousine and sat on the same seat where the unconscious Martian is sleeping, or knocked out from the sedative, as she placed some sort of small headpiece over her temples of her head, from the right temple and the left temple, to stop her using her abilities. As they stopped at a abandoned building that was shut down, their abandoned building that was a shut down laboratory that was once owned by her father. As she tied the Martian to the metal chair that was bolted down to the ground, Izumi waited for the Martian to regain consciousness. It's only been 4 hours. Then her captive finally woke up. My head, where am I? You're in the abandoned laboratory that was once owned by LexCorp. Wait, you're that girl from the street, and you're speaking English pretty fine. She started to figure out what was going on in the girl's attention. What do you want? And why can't I use my powers? Did you do to me? Well, you see that little device on your temples of your head? It's preventing you from using your mental powers on me or on yourself, making yourself intangible. So you would escape the little bindings I have on you. And the sedative, for good measure, I gave you will interrupt you from using your powers for about 24 hours. It's completely harmless. I tested it out. After all, I'm the one who made it. And for the reason why I took you, this was the best way to meet my brother. Brother, who are you? I do apologize, I'm being rude. My name is Izumi Luthor. As Izumi does a curtsy, as she always had a fascination with military um, wear in general. So she she always wears what she's always wearing what's in the picture. She modify every dress she has into a military getup. Wait, Luthor? That means your that means your brother is Connor. What do you want with him? She's a bit scared. She doesn't know what this little girl's attention. She's a Luthor, and she knows Luthors are dangerous. Relax, Martian. I don't want to kill my own brother. I don't want to do anything like that. I just want to meet him and maybe perform a couple tests with my creations to see if my inventions match up to Kryptonian strength, despite him only being half. Simple terms, you're bait, my dear. And considering you are his main squeeze, he would be extremely motivated to rescue you as soon as possible. I'm a bit disappointed that he didn't keep our family last name, but he must have his reasons. And don't worry, I might be a Luthor, but I have no ill will towards you, nor will you be harmed in any way. Like I said, you're bait. Killing killing you would not make very good bait, would it? How old are you even? You look very young. I'm 14. Here it comes. As she says that, as she said that under her breath, as this what normally what happens when she meets older kids or adults. They underestimate her just because of her age and how young she looks. Considering your age, soon you'll be in school. Well, I've already finished with school. I just recently completed college with all high marks. After all, I'm a genius. So Martian, what's my brother like? Look at the time. I suppose I could give my brother a ring. He should be finishing up his workout around this time. And before you ask, yes, I did my homework. I learned your routine and my brother's. I'm a girl must be prepared. As Izumi walked over to Miss Martian and took her phone out of her pocket and flipped it open to search through the contacts list. After searching through it, she finally found her brother's number as she activated the call. What do you need? I should be back at the apartment soon. There might be some change in plans, Connor. Judging from your voice, you're not Megan. Who is this? Before you ask if she's alright, you know the abandoned laboratory near the pier downtown? I know the location. That's where I'm at, and I'm with your little girlfriend, so I suggest you make your way over here sooner than later. See you soon. As Izumi well, disconnected the call. Well, well, sorry. While we're waiting for Connor to arrive, let's use this chance to get to know each other a little bit. Wouldn't you agree? As Izumi has an innocent smile on her face. Megan can tell that she's used that facial expression to her advantage. It looked completely sincere, but she knows better. You're one scary girl. You know that. I've been told that on many occasions. You can just call me Megan. Been wondering, what's that thing right next to you? You finally noticed this is one of my pet projects I've been working on ever since I was a little girl. Void, state your purpose. Megan can hear a female robotic voice coming from the robot. I am designated as Void. I'm a stealth combat android, and the protector of our creator, Miss Luthor. Indeed, I have created several of these Void units over the years. This is my current newest model to the Void unit. And I built this one specifically to test a Kryptonian. I figured this would be the best opportunity to test the capabilities of my current model to see what improvements I need to make. Void unit, go in stealth mode and stay on standby. Izumi watches the stealth android churn invisible. After Izumi talked with Megan for a few minutes, they were interrupted by a large sound as Superboy comes flying in through the wall. Megan, where are you? Are you hurt? There you are. No, you could have used the door like a normal person. Boys, always so destructive. I agree with you, Izumi. He doesn't really think before he acts. Pretty much all the time. I'm a bit confused here. See that, Connor? I understand you kidnapped Megan, but I'm confused why you're talking to each other like you're old friends. I'm so lost. Suppose I should introduce myself properly, brother. I'm Izumi Luthor. I do apologize for kidnapping Miss Megan, but I needed to get your attention. We could talk later, brother. A test is in order. Test? What do you mean, test? Void unit. Engage combat. Void combat protocol is active. Target located. Superboy. Threat level 4. Engaging. Void flashed and reappeared right in front of Connor. As the android swiped its tail across Connor's face, making him go flying backwards, hitting a couple metal barrels. Each time Connor would try to attack, the android would simply disappear then reappear, using the cloak system it has installed. Yeah, Connor, you might want to think on your feet, brother. It's equipped with a very complex AI and is built for stealth, quick attacks, and precision. Good luck. Let's see if you can find any weakness in my creation, big brother. As another Void unit comes in holding a tray with a tray of drinks, as the Void unit hand her master a chocolate shake and begin as Izumi begins drinking while watching her brother fight her creation. Connor charged towards the robot. The Void unit jumped up in the air and dug its claws into the ceiling while swiping its tail at the Kryptonian, trying to impale him, or slap, or backhand him with the part of the tail that's not, pointy. After repeating the same motion on the roof, the mechanical battle droid jump off the ground, dodging heat vision that was heading towards its direction as Connor uppercut the sorry redirect his heat ray towards the android, as the android had enough time to maneuver the shoulder piece that's on the unit, as the shoulder piece absorbed the heat vision, as it redirected energy by releasing it from the eyes, shooting some sort of laser beam from his face, hitting Connor in the chest, making him hit the wall, leaving cracks in the cement. The fight was about to continue until Izumi could see the smoke coming from the void unit as she commanded her creation to stand down. That's definitely a concern. At this magnitude, it's a little too much for my little void unit. I have no doubt if you landed a solid hit on my void unit, you would have damaged the metal quite severely. I might have to think on better armor, better metal to use. But regardless, impressive display, even though you didn't manage to hit it. Izumi doesn't no longer need debate, so she walked over to Megan and cut the ropes off with the knife that she had on one of the pouches, little military uniform, freeing Megan from her bindings. I have a feeling you're going to be one of those annoying little sisters, aren't you? I'm going to act like I didn't hear that. I'm starving. Let's go get something to eat, shall we? Was that really necessary? There has to be more easier ways to get my attention. I was a bit I was a bit curious about you when I found out about your existence. But I'm going to have to get used to having a little sister. Never thought our meeting would go like this. I heard it all. There could have been a easier way to go about it, but that's no fun. There's a burger joint not too far away from here. They have the best fries in town. That's my opinion, personally. If they're still if they're still around. I have been away from the city for several years. That's all good and all. I think you owe Megan an apology. You did kidnap her, by the way. Not cool, though. Yeah, I totally forgot about that. I suppose I owe her apology. Sorry, Megan, for kidnapping you and such. No hard feelings? It's quite alright, no harm done. Even though this is the strangest kidnapping I ever been involved in. Can you please take this thing off of me? Every time I try to remove it, it keeps shocking me. Totally forgot about that. And sorry, I totally forgot that I implemented that feature onto that device. I don't know what's scarier, that you added it into it or you forgot about it. Izumi took off the small devices from the temples of her forehead and put it back in her bag that she brought with her. Don't worry about don't worry about lunch. It's on me. Excuse me for a moment, as Izumi took her phone as her dad was calling her. I'm with him. I'm with him now. No, I didn't fight him. I had one of my creations do it in my place. I did learn quite a bit from that display. I should be back home in an hour or two. I'll see you then. As Izumi disconnected the call and put the phone back in her pocket. Looks like we're here. They're still in business. So I take it that was Lex. As Connor has a frown on his face. Likes to keep tabs on me. He's afraid I might start some sort of trouble. Just because I found myself in several hostage situations. And I might have been overboard. Several of the occasions. He's been kind of overprotective. For, for Dad. You know how Dad is. Doesn't sound like him one bit. You don't know Dad? Sorry. Maybe you don't know Dad as much as I do. I know you two have a unhealthy relationship. I figured I would try to have a friendly relationship with you, brother. After all, we're family, despite your hatred for father. The three of them found a booth. As they all three sat down and ordered their food, when the waitress took their order, the three of them talked and ate. As Connor and Megan try to get to know Izumi a little better, they can tell straight off the bat that she's highly intelligent and tend to be scary at times, despite not having many morals. They still could tell that she's still a good kid at heart. At heart, I'm sorry. She does have a strong loyalty towards her father, Lex Luthor, even though Connor found out that his sister doesn't really like some of his methods that their father does do. He could tell his sister has great respect towards Lex. So I take it you're another clone of Superman. As Megan socked him in his arm. That's rude. As Superboy shrugged his shoulders. Quite all right, Megan. I'm not offended. I'm no clone. Father has abandoned such cloning a long time ago. As you see, sorry, he used a different method in my birth. Let's just leave it at that, brother. Well, sister, I'm going to have to get used to having a sister, but I kind of like the idea. I don't know how Superman's going to feel about this, but I'm liking it. His opinion doesn't really matter to me, regardless. Whatever his. Whatever. That's Father's adversary, not mine. I have no interest in this Man of Steel. I don't share the same vendetta that Father has for for the Man. I don't hate the man. He seems to be like a good guy. I guess that kind of goes hand in hand with Boy Scouts. But you can't argue with his track record, fight after fight, even stopping a couple invasions from different alien life forms. That's not even including the whole dark side fellow that's so interested in Earth and Superman, of course. I might have been away from Metropolis for a little bit, but I always try to keep tabs on what's going on in the city. It's getting kind of late. It was really nice to meet you, Megan. Sorry again about the kidnapping, and brother. It's extremely nice to meet you finally. I'll come find you from time to time. It it looks like my ride here. As Connor and Megan see a limousine outside of the diner, as the driver get out of the vehicle, just standing there waiting for Izumi, as they watch her step out of the restaurant, walk towards the driver, as the driver opened the passenger door for her to get in. As the driver closed the door and went back to the driver's side of the vehicle, and got in, then closed the door behind him, then drove off. How did your encounter with your brother go, Miss Luthor? Thank you for asking. It went quite well. I actually like my brother. He's a bit cocky and doesn't really think things through, but I could tell he's a nice guy. And I'm a good judge of character. Izumi pulled out a tablet of her bag, going through the results of the battle with her upgraded void unit. As she immediately went over the data to see what needs to be improved. It overheated way too fast to her liking. It took a lot of the unit to fight a Kryptonian at such levels. And she was as amazed that her creation kept up with the Kryptonian for that long. Izumi has no intention of using these void units of hers to kill anyone. She just wants she just wants something to she just wants something to protect her in case she can't protect herself. She's a very cautious girl. She likes to think 10 steps ahead of anyone that tries to do anything towards her, including her own father. She loves her father to death, but she's not arrogant to believe that he won't ever betray her. After all, her father is a Luthor. She just has to. She has things and she has things prepared in case that ever occurred. She highly doubt her father would ever betray her, but just in case, she's not stupid. The next few days for Izumi went on uneventful. She was left to her own devices when her father went on a business trip to Europe. Izumi is in her father's office watching the news as Superman and the Justice League are fighting some sort of creature that came out of nowhere, and the League was unable to put the creature down. Every time they thought they won, it just came back and somehow involved at the same time. Well, whatever method they used to kill the creature, killing is no longer feasible outside of using heat vision to the brain. But Superman would never do that because he's Superman. He would never use such methods. Luckily for Metropolis, Izumi is not that type of person. Izumi is watching the early stages of Doomsday. It seems like the League is having trouble. As she watches Connor flying into battle with Doomsday, with Superman, Supergirl, alongside with Power Girl, only ones left are only ones that are still conscious. Of course, the idiot, as Izumi sighs, of course the idiot had to fly in without thinking. There goes my afternoon. Stupid brother, he's just going to get himself killed. And and who in their right mind would continuously to make this monster stronger? Idiots, I swear. Regardless, this leaves me with a opportunity to test one of my more dangerous androids. As Izumi steps out of her father's office and walks to the elevator and places her key into the slot that's underneath the buttons of the elevator. As she turned the key, as the elevator went down to the lower floor, to her very own underground laboratory that her father built for her. As the elevator opened up, as she walked into the hallway, as she placed her key card in the slot, as the lab door open ups, open up. As the light flickers, the moment she entered the laboratory, I would have liked to test this in a more stable and controlled environment. If you can't take risks, you won't make advancements. Void Juggernaut activate system and do a diagnostic. Understood, Creator Luthor. Activating diagnostic. Please stand by. Processing 10%, 20%, 40%, 60%. Diagnostic complete. All systems all green. Order, Miss Luthor. I'll be sending you images through my tablet to your system. Locate this creature and take it down. Taking out this creature is your second target. Your main mission is to back up the Justice League and provide backup. And keep the death tolls of the civilians to 0. No civilians must be harmed. Are we understood? Acknowledge, Miss Luthor. Izumi activated her own personal portal that she's been tinkering with. The portal technology is still in development. Unfortunately, there's some kinks that need to be worked out. It's going to be a once use type of thing. Afterwards, it will short out, so she has no time to waste. She's going to have to fix it when she gets back. As she activates the portal technology, as the humongous robot walked through the portal, while Izumi is sitting on the shoulder of the robot. Superman, Superboy, Power Girl, and Supergirl turn their heads, seeing a huge portal open up in the middle of the battlefield, as they see a huge black robot and a 14-year-old girl sitting on the shoulder of the Juggernaut Void unit. As she waved at her brother, "Miss me, bruh?" "I saw the Kryptonian party, so I decided to make my appearance." Izumi jumped off the shoulder of the Juggernaut Void unit. Juggernaut activate combat protocols. Engage. Voice command confirm. Miss Luthor. Beginning operation. Izumi watches her creation rush forward to attack Doomsday. "So, bro, what are you fighting anyways? What is this creature? I can tell this thing's not human." "Can you show up, little sis? What's that humongous robot thing you brought?" "It's my own creation, after all. I'm a genius. I had it back in the lab, holding it up in storage, so I decided to test it out. And this creature, whatever it is the perfect opportunity to test it out." Would like an answer of what this monster is. Yeah. Don't get your pennies in the bunch. It's some sort of bioweapon. It goes by Doomsday. Apparently, it kind of broke up the Phantom Zone. I don't know how it did it, but it's here. We have to deal with it. Doomsday, that does ring a bell. As Power Girl finally make her presence known. "So, Boy Scout, who's the brat?" "That must be Lex's little girl." Apparently, Luthor created another one. Connor told me a little bit about it. Apparently, Luthor has gave up on trying to clone me. I don't know whose DNA he used. It could be any one of us to create that girl. I'm still unsure how he did it. I'm don't even sure how I feel about it currently, but she's here to help, at least. Just be on guard. Just keep in mind, she's a Luthor. I don't care if she's a Luthor. I'm gonna go say hi to the girl. As Power Girl walked over towards the new arrival. So you're Luthor. May I ask what the daughter of Luthor doing here?" "Must be Power Girl." Of me, as she raised her eyebrow at the young girl. My old man told me a few things about you. I know quite a bit of information on every Kryptonian that's on Earth. It's best to be informed in case we ever found ourselves on two different sides. After all, I'm still a Luthor. I like to keep myself prepared for future events. And for the reason why I'm here is to test out my juggernaut and stop that idiot brother of mine from killing himself. So you're part Kryptonian. Why aren't you fighting yourself? You must have the strength. Yes, I'm a Kryptonian, but I don't do violence. I'm a scientist. Why would I resort to myself to such barbaric actions when I could easily create something to do that for me? Don't get me wrong, I know how to fight. I've learned many martial arts over the short time I was learning to defend myself. I chose I just chose not to fight today, currently at least. Somehow, this Doomsday creature destroys my juggernaut. Then I'll get physical. But until then, I want to see what my creation can do, and I can help at the same time. Kill two birds with one stone, sort of say. Of course, don't be fooled by my looks, Power Girl. I'm a super genius. After all, I'm Lex's daughter. Sadly, my dear brother didn't inherit that trait from our father. That's so uncool, little sir. Hey, that's so uncool, little sis. I'm not trying to make fun of you, brother. I'm just stating the facts. As they were interrupted from their conversation by Doomsday and the Juggernaut unit, colliding fists with each other. I think it's about time we get this. Sorry, I think it's about time we go into overtime. Juggernaut, unlock all limiters. Activate Code Delta. Juggernaut duck under Doomsday's fist and land an uppercut to his chin. Command confirm. Unlocking all limiters. Engaging Command Delta. That's where we're going to stop it. Hope you guys have a good night and day. Enjoy my time zones, and I'll catch you in the next video.